Good morning and welcome to the daily chapter reading of It's Your Lost. Dr. Sheetal says, some people grieve privately and want it to be theirs only whilst some need everyone to know so that they can share it and seek reassurance. Using your loss to create something meaningful or taking it out and examining it away from the goggles or googles of grief turns it into some sort of semi-fiction that doesn't feel too intrusive. The point is that you are bringing it out of you and into the world and trying to experience it in a less threatening way. If it feels very hard, try again when you're feeling less vulnerable. Perhaps then you may start to realize a path to processing your loss. But take your time, there's no rush if it doesn't feel right yet. The important thing is that you are giving it some time to percolate into the unknown and begin to experiment with managing any difficult feelings that arise. Another important thing is that you don't remain alone in this loss, whether you choose to share this with yourself or people. Don't block the emotions, they need to be processed and attended to. This might sound daunting and it might take a while to unravel what the loss means to you, others, and the world. Sharing with others in art can feel like you're bonding with a community who understands, but not purely based on the loss you share, and so this doesn't define you. Sometimes we need that. Knowing other people have found their way through stuff too can be very powerful. For those who are less socially inclined and would rather connect with the world than others, has been shown to be wonderfully therapeutic. Sometimes we can lose sight of this as we deal with the world and all its practicalities. Sorting a will, applying for new jobs, looking after a newborn. Self-reflection can come in solitude or with others, and they both give value. Green-eyed boy. I write this from where you left off, the land of the living so-called. And how do you like your days, or are you someone now bumping dark rhythms cut with a thread of light? What a time to be alive. Everyone's going on spare, not just my life going on pair. Have I told you about this recurring nightmare? A hammer coming down on a tree stump, my hand waiting on the stump for the blow. I earned of your passing as I dressed for a wedding. Shifting the knot of my tie, I said, okay, marveling. At the way I stalk phrase insinuates in self the way certain man spread to fill a space. We hadn't spoken in months. Had I known the words prove, what is good would be the lost words. Of our correspondence, I would have told you how the table and chairs in your mother's kitchen rebuilt me. I would have asked if you remembered the day we heard crystal clear on rinse and glimpsed joy long enough to dance. Because bereavement has been a fact of my life from a relatively early age, I have always been fascinated by death, mourning, and grief as a subject for writing and for art generally. For me, writing begins as a preoccupation with a particular idea, phrase, or image. Once they move me, I find it hard to let certain stimuli. The deaths of those I love are particularly resonant, and then because writing through that grief is a way of extending kinship across the existential chasm between living and death. Treat yourself. When you're going through a loss, looking after yourself can feel like studying rocket science on a unicycle while you're on fire. Here's how to take care of the big and little things to keep yourself functioning. Emma. Self-care is hard at the best of times, so when you're going through a loss, it's probably at the end of a very long emotional list. We were both very much not treating ourselves through our big losses. Robin. I barely put pants on. Emma. I put all my pants on, plus lipstick, earrings, and heels to show it was okay. Do you think it's because we just didn't know any better? Robin. Yeah, for sure. And for me, it just felt like just a lot of effort. I lay down. You really plowed on with my life. That's why I thought you were okay, or had gone mad. Emma, the second one is probably right. Robin, on treating yourself. Notes on self-care from the Queen of Self-Indulgence. Thinking of things that make the unbearable nature of loss a bit more bearable can be really bloody hard wherever you sit on the introvert-extrovert scale. There are things that feel too insubstantial, like a spa day. There are things that feel too massive to even consider, like a pilgrimage along the road to Santiago. There's advice that is really accurate but just sounds dumb. Eat some food, dude. It'll power you up like Super Mario after a mushroom. When putting on your underwear and it's literally the pinnacle of your daily achievements, treating yourself can feel so wildly out of reach that it's laughable. If I've lost something, the first thing I do is get massively overwhelmed, have a full body freak out, lay down, and become unable to do anything. It's like I short circuit. Ask Jamie, I just cannot deal. It's one of the worst qualities. I dwell on that thing in an all-encompassing way. It's a real treat for everyone around me. I'm either incommunicado or totally overcommunicado in that I cannot shut up about the thing I lost, how I lost it, how it felt to lose it, how I could hypothetically replace it, etc. There's a mania to it, and it detaches me from the real world and just pop inside myself and implode. I've done it with loss of places, people, friendships, friendships. I have mourned the loss of friendships harder than I've mourned the end of romantic relationships. Someone needs to be talking more about how life-changing closing a door on a friendship is, because that shit is tough. I've grieved for the end of love affairs, my sense of self, my sense of security, the lot.